I have prayed every day that her killer would eventually be brought to justice.
In a lot of ways, probably the best day that I've had in months, to be honest.
2 Arcadia High School students were found shot to death while on a camping trip in the Tonto National Forest.
Who's accused of shooting and killing 2 Arcadia teens while on a camping trip.
The Arcadia community is searching for answers after 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud and the second victim, identified by friends as 17-year-old Evan Clark, were found dead near Mount Ord in the Tonto National Forest. 5 days into summer break, the 2 victims were found shot to death.
It's really scary that it's just so close to home. And then their family. That's the next thing you think about is like, what are they going through? What happened to them? Are they going to get answers?
It's shocking and really sad. It's unbelievable. Very distressing because they're so young. Their lives hadn't even begun yet.
Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies now conducting a comprehensive and meticulous investigation. Fox 10 has asked the Sheriff's Office if there is a concern for public safety in that area. They cannot answer, saying it interferes with the investigation.
Not here with my child. I'd like to know if we're safe.
Yeah, I'm really concerned, very concerned. I also would want to respect the people's families and not get into those personal details, but I would want to know how we can all be safe. It really makes me worry because I have nieces and nephews that age, that something could happen to them.
Now, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in this investigation. So anyone that was near Mount Ord or the Tonto National Forest over Memorial Day weekend is asked to contact them immediately. Yeah, they're asking for tips and any little bit of information. You can remain anonymous. That number 602-876-TIPS. You can also find that on our website, fox10phoenix.com. Live in Arcadia, Kenzie Beach, Fox 10 News.
This case is a reminder that danger doesn't always come from people you know. Sometimes it comes from someone you've never met. A campsite, a shared space, a random encounter. And when stories change, when evidence stays the same, that's usually where the truth lies.
Maricopa County Sheriff's Office now saying that those 2 teens were found shot to death.
And tonight the community is responding to those murders. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach joining us live now from Arcadia High School with reaction. Kenzie.
Yeah, you guys, in the last hour, we have just learned that these 2 Arcadia High School students were found shot to death while on a camping trip in the Tonto National Forest. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office is pleading anyone with any information, no matter how small, to come forward, hoping that they can bring answers and justice to these loved ones and these victims.
Who, why, what, when?
Tragic thing that happened, obviously, and we got to find out who did it.
Pandora was 18, Evan was 17, 2 teenagers who went camping near Mount Ord in the Tonto National Forest and never made it back home. Thomas Brown was camping at Mount Ord with his wife between May 23rd and May 26, 2025. His wife left the mountain on May 25th. Brown stayed behind. Brown later told investigators that after his wife left, he noticed a younger male and female in a silver SUV. That SUV, investigators believe, belonged to Evan Clark. Brown told police he encountered the teens, but claimed there was no interaction, no physical contact, no conversation, nothing. He said he never touched them, never went inside their vehicle, never crossed paths beyond seeing them, because the evidence doesn't agree.
But we begin tonight with a major break in a high-profile murder investigation. Maricopa County deputies now confirm 31-year-old Thomas Brown is in jail. He was arrested in connection to the murder of 2 Arcadia High School students on Mount Ord back in May. 17-year-old Evan Clark, 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud were found there shot to death during a camping trip. MCSO, the Sheriff's Office, posted this video today of Brown's arrest, and we're expecting him to make his first court appearance sometime tonight. Sheriff Jerry Sheridan will be holding a news conference about this tomorrow morning, and we'll be sure to let you know what comes of that.
Despite Brown denying any connection, his own defense attorney later acknowledged that Brown did have contact with the teens while on the mountain, and forensics evidence backed that up. Brown's DNA was found inside the victim's silver Mercedes SUV. His DNA was also found on the inside of bloody gloves recovered near the vehicle. On the outside of those gloves, DNA from both Pandora and Evan. That's not coincidence. That's contact. Investigators followed drag marks in the dirt leading from the campsite into the brush, where the bodies were hidden. They found a gray storage tote filled with camping gear, an air rifle nearby, which Brown later admitted he handled, shell casings scattered across the area, and a bloody pillowcase inside the SUV.
Chilling video shows the accused killer, 31-year-old Thomas Brown, being taken to Arizona's Maricopa County Jail. He's made to stand barefoot in a scanning machine that takes all his body's measurements in seconds. Brown's eerie, emotionless demeanor and ice-cold gaze as he's booked for first-degree murder is sparking comparisons with Brian Kohberger, the notorious killer of the 4 Idaho college kids. Detectives say Brown was camping near Arizona's Mount Ord with his wife and stayed behind an extra day. When she went home, he told cops he spent his day flying his drone around the mountain. After the bodies of the teenagers were found, investigators say Brown called the police helpline to say he'd seen the campers and stumbled across their campsite but had not spoken to them. But detectives say his DNA was found at the crime scene. Pandora and Evan were about to start their senior year at high school in Scottsdale. Evan's mom posted heartbreaking video of her journey to the spot where the bodies were found.
It's where I lost my boy. They died alone in this forest.
She says she had a bad feeling about the trip and pleaded with him to change his plans.
I asked him not to go that morning. I even offered for him money for him so he could use the weekend and go to California.
This is one of the last photos of Pandora. It was taken with her mom on Mother's Day, just 2 weeks before the murders.
The light and love and beauty she gave us will be in our hearts forever. And the darkness that she encountered on that day, when she met her killer, will not define her life.
This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was physical. And here's what's important. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office made it clear. There is no evidence that Pandora and Evan knew Brown before that weekend. No prior association, no online contact, no indication that the teens did anything to provoke or contribute to what happened. This was not ongoing beef. This was not personal history. And that brings us to the hardest part of this case. Why? As of late 2025, authorities have not established a motive. Brown invoked his rights to remain silent. However, investigators did note something. During that same weekend, Brown made a social media post expressing annoyance with what he described as random adults camping near him. Nothing directly threatening, nothing explicit. But when you look back after the fact, it stands out. After the murders, Brown didn't disappear. He contacted investigators himself, claimed he had drone footage from the mountain that weekend, offered information. At the same time, he posted online expressing sadness about the killings, helping on the surface but contradicting himself underneath.
From the very beginning, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says they were looking into Thomas Brown after Brown made multiple posts on social media admitting to camping on Mount Ord that weekend. He also gave tips to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, handing over video from that weekend saying that he was helping them. But now Thomas Brown has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the murder of Pandora Kjolsrud and Evan Clark. Now, deputies say this was a random attack on the 2 teens and Brown acted alone. The suspect, 31-year-old Thomas Brown, contacted the sheriff's office following the murders, saying he had video from the mountain the same weekend the teens were killed. But it was ultimately Brown's DNA found inside the 2 teenagers' car, on a pair of bloody gloves, and additional evidence at the crime scene that led to his arrest. 5 other witnesses came forward from that weekend who came across Brown on the mountain, who identified him and recall him acting strange. For the first time, we heard from Pandora Kjolsrud's mother, Simone, today, who says her daughter was full of joy and light. Simone contacted police after constant communication with her daughter went dark on May 25th.
Based on that evidence collected, Thomas Brown provided false and misleading information regarding his involvement. It was the comparison of his statements and that physical evidence. He mentioned that he flew a drone around the mountain, and that was one of the reasons that we had contacted him.
On October 2nd, 2025, more than 4 months after Pandora and Evan were killed, Thomas Brown was arrested at his home in Chandler, Arizona. The case didn't break because of emotion. It broke because of evidence wouldn't move. Brown has been indicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty during his arraignment on October 17, 2025. He remains in custody at the Maricopa County Jail on a $2 million cash bond only. His trial is scheduled for June 2026.
At this vista that local high schoolers call Camelback Viewpoint. They say their friends that they've lost love to come here to watch the sunset. And over the past 2 days, dozens of high schoolers have come out here to grieve and pay their respects.
I miss you, my sweet angel. Just one of many messages of love friends of Pandora Kjolsrud have left at this memorial.
I just want to know what happened.
One junior who was friends with Clark did not want to appear on camera, but spoke with us about struggling to cope with this loss.
I'm really sad. It's like, it doesn't really feel real. I was just in class with him not even a week ago, less than a week ago. We were just goofing around, taking our finals. And he said to me and my friends, have a great summer. It's really sad.
I think it was just some random act of
Horror. Horror. Absolute horror. Teenage children.
Rest in peace to Pandora Kjolsrud and Evan Clark.